You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Into the Void Real Review. This time we're reviewing Kinds of Kindness, the newest movie from director Yorgos Lanthimos, starring once again Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe. I say once again because it wasn't that long ago that Poor Things was released, also a Yorgos Lanthimos joint. I think it was released in December. That movie starred those same two actors as well. Clearly, Yorgos likes working with these two, and Poor Things was a very good film in my opinion. So why not go to that well one more time? You can't fault him for that. Go check out my Poor Things review if you haven't already seen what I had to say about that movie. And on another note, I have to say Poor Things released to limited theaters. It was a challenge to try and find a movie theater that would screen it. Kinds of Kindness was a little easier. Hopefully movie theaters are starting to open up to more independent cinema that challenges moviegoers to go see more than the standard blockbuster fare. Here's hoping. This time, Margaret Qualley joins the fray, who was excellent in Drive Away Dolls, which was released earlier this year in February. If you've seen that movie, you may see why she fits in this one rather well. Let's just say she's in some rather crude sexual scenes that seem similar to what we saw in Drive Away Dolls. Like Emma Stone, she is more willing to star in the more provocative roles that a lot of other actors may shy away from. Jesse Plemons is in this one as well, shining as a clearly dysfunctional human being in the broadest sense of the term. He was in Civil War earlier this year, and he was a huge selling point for why people should have gone to see that film. He was a despicable character in that one, and he continues the trend here. He sure knows how to play those type of characters better than anyone in Hollywood at the moment. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get to the nitty-gritty of what this movie is about. If you want to go in blind into this movie, then you may want to not hear anything I have to say from here on out. So spoiler alert, but honestly, you may need a primer before you go in to see this movie. This is like needing to catch up on your Elden Ring lore before getting into the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC for your video game inclined. For you others, this might help you get a leg up on what you're about to watch. It's up to you, but you have been warned. This is a collection of 3 short stories that seem to have some singular thread that ties them together. And that thread may be what the title alludes to: kindness. To clarify, this movie is to ask how far people will go to get love and acceptance from others, even if it presents them in the ugliest light imaginable. There's a scene where Emma Stone's character in the second story tells her father, played by the always excellent Willem Dafoe, how much she owes her husband because he is so great, even though everyone around her is telling her how badly he treats her. But it is apparent she is so blind to it all because she is so intimately involved. It's like the saying, you're too far in the trees to see the forest. These stories may be incoherent on first watch, but you will still get a lot from the characters' performances.
She asked me to fuck her in my uniform, then it hit me hard.
That is what you will get through this movie rather than any kind of clear plot or anything like that. Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone are the stars of this show. By the way, Jesse Plemons looks slim and trim in this movie. Has he been hitting the gym or is it Ozempic? Anyways, they do a great job keeping you invested in what is going on even if you don't really understand what's going on. Because right now, I'm not sure I can give you an adequate synopsis on what really happens in these stories. I mean, I could, but I couldn't really give you the meaning of why people are doing the things they are in them. On first glance, you may say that these stories are about the rich controlling the poor, a cannibal who eats part of his wife for proof of not being an imposter, and a woman searching for a Mary Mother of God figure through supernatural means to gain acceptance to a cult. But on second glance, a symbolic glance, maybe all the stories share the same common thread of people taking desperate measures to gain acceptance and kindness that helps them feel in control of lives that they have found themselves trapped in. Is it on purpose that Kinds of Kindness feels out of control in tone and meaning on the whole to further prove the premise of each of the stories? I don't know. Maybe? It is a dark comedy for sure. You will laugh and grimace in equal measure. Nothing is what it seems, and everything is what it is. You will either love this movie or hate it. During my screening, the people sitting next to me walked out once the third story started. After 2 nonsensical stories, they were like, "We're out." Which is what I imagine a lot of people will feel after feeling rather perplexed and maybe even bored because things aren't spelled out more. And I get it, because there are points in the movie where I had a feeling like that. But stick with it, and you'll come to appreciate what this movie is trying to say. maybe have a little more tolerance for this sort of thing. After all, I have seen Mulholland Drive and I loved it even though it's absolutely bonkers. And there's a definite look to the film that might not jive with a lot of people. It is rather bleak looking. It kind of has this monochrome feel. This could have been shot in black and white and it would not have differed that much because the colors in this movie are highly muted. And what is up with the end credits at the end of each of the short films? The stories each have end credits that will have you shaking your head wondering if these things are just being played for laughs and nothing more. You gotta give it props to a movie that says, fuck it, we're doing things our way even if it may alienate some people, like the ones that walked out during my screening. I thought a lot of what this movie had to say after watching it. Driving home, I wondered, what linked it all together? How can I make sense of it all? And I have to say, I never felt confident in my answer. These movies are always hard to review, but also they're fun to ponder on and theorize what they are trying to say. So I ask you, what do you think this movie was trying to say? Did you love it or hate it, or was it just mid? Let me know in the comment section because honestly, I could use your help on this one. I give Kindness a 7 out of 10. Join me next time when we venture into the void. See ya.